So I was talking to a black belt friend of mine who's a high-level competitor, and I was asking him because he does these amazing things from top half, he's just very dynamic. And I'm like, hey, what do you think about when you're doing these techniques? And he's like, there are three things that you should always think about, whatever you're doing in jiu-jitsu. First is like, what kind of connection do you have? And this works for like troubleshooting your techniques or whatever you're working on in your game. It's like, what kind of connection do you have? Second one is, what kind of leverage do you have? Where's your leverage and how can you increase your leverage? And then the third is your body position. And this technique is actually perfect for that because you've got, okay, what kind of connection do I have? Okay, like where's the leverage? Do I have enough leverage? So Coach Chris, can I get this? So this is a good lead in for the second option of this. Yeah, can you go this way? So, and I have to do this a lot because I'm like, okay, when you go for this, like, do I have the leverage? If he's kind of my size, like I know I probably got the leverage. I've got a good connection. I'm like pushing his head down, and now like I can do it and I can sit through. Like, okay, do I have enough leverage here? And with my body position, all my body weight on his neck, is it enough to get the submission? So if it's not, and this is kind of a judgment call, like you're getting here and you have to kind of make this decision quickly. Like you're here, it's like, this guy's got a neck on him. Like he's just not, I can't get this. I'm like, I've got to reset. So now what I want to do, I've got to, what can I do to improve the connection? So that's pretty good. So maybe I need more leverage. So what I can do if I can't go do this, so your first option is, so now I'm just going to push him over. So instead of being in turtle, he's going to be more on his side. So now the leverage I have is like my body is like, I'm covering this top side shoulder. So now his arm is actually collapsed into his neck. And so it's adding to the pressure that I give to him. But still like, okay, what can I do with the leverage? So now what I'm going to do is called a short arm Darce. So I'm going to keep this hand stays here, and I'm going to shoot this arm out, and I'm going to put it right on the floor. And I'm going to grab my own forearm. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working this up. And while I do this, I'm putting more weight, just like I did on the first one, on Coach Chris's neck. So I aim for right here at this meaty part of your forearm. You don't want to go up above. So now it's more like a traditional Darce. This is, and I started doing this technique because I could never get my shoulder through. And I think that's the frustration. I know when I was coming up, I kind of abandoned the Darce for a long time because I could never get my hand through because all they used to teach was the traditional Darce. So this was really good for me because I can go here and I don't have to be all the way through. So now I'm gonna go here. I want to walk this up as high as I can. And while I'm walking this hand up, notice how Coach Chris's neck, sorry Coach, is still going. Now I've got more leverage than I had here. And I've got better body position. I can push into him on his side. The other added benefit of this is the other thing Coach Chris can do from that Japanese necktie, and I was frustrated with this for a while because all my opponents used to do this, is he'll flatten himself out and try to put his chin on the mat. If his chin or his forehead is on the mat, you're not bending it. So one way you can solve that problem is push them over. So I'm gonna go here. I'm like, okay, this is not working. I'm gonna do the short arm Darce. I'm gonna push through, and I'm gonna just step over almost like I'm going to mount. And now I can fall to my shoulder until I get the towel. Okay, so one more time. So I get here from the takedown. I'm like, this is not working. So I'm gonna bully him down. Hand goes to the mat for base. So now, and this is a struggle, like he's not gonna wanna be here. So I'm gonna work this up and start pushing this down. And it's just like the first one. It's elbow, I'm gonna come through, over, and I'm putting all my body weight, and I can keep going until he taps. So give it a try. Questions before we do it? Okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, internal. So the question was, when you have a really big opponent and like you're getting this position, Okay, and I say, okay, I'm gonna bully him down. Okay, that's easier said than done with somebody like Jabron. But you can, when you stay here, and what I like about this position, it's like it's really hard for you to get into a bad position. Like, what is he gonna do? Like, he's gotta dig out of a hole. So he's staying there, he's gonna try to get up. And also, like, when we're rolling, like, it's not just this technique in a vacuum. Like, I've got this, like, but I'm in a position, I can go back to the chin strap, I can go to the guillotine, I can start working to take his back. So he's got a lot on his mind. So, but you're here, and so you can just put your weight, and you can go back to your feet and tripod, and like, I'm gonna bully him down. Like, so you can get a really big opponent, like somebody super big, and like, because you're controlling their head, they can't stand up, they can't really base, because I've got good control, and and now I can use my body weight. I can like tripod up and push them. I can use my feet. You can do active toes, whatever works for you to use your body weight to push them over. Does that help? So, this is what happened to me when I started doing this. Like, everybody was big in Mexico and strong, and they were like, and I was a gringo, and so I was going to get my butt whipped one way or the other. So I'm like, no, I'm tired of that. Like, after a while, it's like, you know. So, thanks, Jerron. Very quickly, can you go to the turret? I don't want to show disrespect to the traditional DAR, so I'll show it to you, but I think most of you, because I want to move on to one more after this, because I know we don't have a whole lot of time, that I think is super cool and I think you'll like. So same kind of deal. I'm here, it's like, this is not working. I'm gonna go here. I usually go for the short arm DARs just because I'm safe here. Like, I've got good base, and like, he's gonna be trying to get up, so I'm gonna try to work this arm through. Once I decide, okay, I'm gonna go to the traditional DARs, what I think about is putting my left ear on Coach Chris's side. So now I can start working this through. So now, instead of being at the forearm, I'm gonna go to this traditional above the elbow. And again, what I'm trying to do is pushing his neck and his chin to his chest. So here, I'm just gonna go to mount and put more weight again onto his neck. So that's the traditional. So, questions about that? Has everyone done that? It's going. So yeah, go ahead.
Anything to help get that arm through?
It's when you're in gi. So, I'm sorry. So when I'm pulling him over, this is going to be kind of a battle. And this is why I like going to this short arm DARs. So now, like, I can start pushing this, and like, I don't feel like I need more leverage, but now I can kind of put my ear to his side, and then I can walk back a little bit. So that's going to give me more room to get. And all I'm doing is increasing the leverage. Notice how, like, first when you're here, then you're here, and now you're going all the way up. So particularly in gi, it's very much like you're gonna have to battle to push it through. In no gi, it's pretty amazing how fast you can get to that position. Can you turtle up? So,
I think,
yeah.
You ever find yourself going back to the chin strap or anything to kind of open a little bit?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, so if he's fighting here, like, you know, maybe he's like, okay, here, and I think I mentioned this earlier, you have to be careful, because now with his base, he can start working on your grips if he wants to. And this is where I go to an S grip, because this is much harder for him to do. And this is also, if I'm having this much a problem, like he's big, he's trying to stand up, I'm like, this is just not working for me, I'll transition to something else. Or I'll wait and I'll go to the chin strap, which is always like, I never like submit with the chin strap, I just use it to annoy people. Because I found that when you put your hand on their chin, they want it off. And so now all they think about is getting that off. And so now whatever he's doing, he stops, and I can go back to get that. So yes, it's very useful. Same thing when you're doing the takedown. If for some reason you can't get that hook, that overhook, I'll just go to the chin strap and start playing with that. And that's usually, they'll give me enough room to get the arm in. Okay. So I'll show this one. I just added this one, so I would appreciate your feedback on this one, but I thought it was super cool, and you guys may have seen this. So this is like, It's kind of a version of the short arm Dars. It's like a Dagestani Dars, which is pretty cool. So, and what I like about it is you don't have to push him over. So as I was saying, for the short arm Dars on the first one, I had to push Coach Chris over on his side. Because what I don't want is him putting his forehead on the floor so that I can't. So now here, when he's on his side, or here, he can't, he's on his side, so there's no floor to put his forehead on. But now you're having to do what we were talking about, like you've got to bully him over, and maybe you don't feel like doing that. So what I like to do, or I've been trying, so I'll go to this first one, and if I just really can't do it, I'll go to the same short arm Dars, except as I walk up, I'm gonna start going this way, and I want my elbow. See how my elbow goes underneath? This is one of Coach Scott's famous wedges that he's always teaching, right? So I go here, and I'm gonna shoot this through, and now I'm gonna shift my weight this way toward his head, and all my weight again, and I'm just gonna go here. He'll either roll, so instead of having to bully him over, if you put a wedge there and push this over, so now now I can like catch the foot and go from here. And now you don't have to go through and that's easier sometimes depending on your opponent, but if not, you can finish there, and that's what I like about that one. Have you guys seen this? You seen the Dagestani Dars? So.
You want to call it the leg in the second one?
Yeah. Key thing, his head will be in your armpit, and your elbow will be a wedge. So what that does, I'm gonna do one more. So now, if he sprawls, he still can't put his forehead on the mat. So now you've got the position. Now you can come up, and you still got room to use your leverage, and he can't use the mat to keep you from bending his chin. So, make sense? Anybody want to see it again? Okay, let's rep that out a little bit. Yeah, Coach Chris is like, no, you're good. Okay, let's do a few more minutes of that. Rep it out and see how it goes. All right, 1, 2, 3.
And a lot of the guys, when I was walking around, were like, oh, I love the chain of attacks, how it flows. And it's nice that these are like pressure tested with the people you've done. It's not stuff you were like, oh, I'm just gonna look something up on the internet, and like, this is stuff that you work on, especially like the last one. It's kind of fun to like, hey, now I'm going here. Because like he said, like as you do your jiu-jitsu, you're gonna come across your partners who get used to the attacks that you do. And they're gonna think about defenses. Well, and then what? You have to figure out solutions to those. You gotta figure out counters to their counters. So it's kind of cool to see how that developed and how that worked.
It's exactly what happened. I was having a conversation over here. I was killing everybody in the gym with the Japanese necktie, and then they figured out all you have to do is sprawl. And then it's like, okay, now what are you gonna do? And of course, they're still digging out of a big hole, but like, okay, I want to finish this. And so that led to like, and again, what I really like about this is you really don't have to transition much at all except moving your arm. And it's almost like turning the power up on a machine, like on the leverage that you get where that is. So it's pretty,
That's awesome.
Yeah, they hate me now.
What? I know, they love it. Go ahead and line up. Guys. You don't want to talk real fast. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you all, and it's always a celebration when somebody like Brian, the Colonel, comes back. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes words of affirmation come very easy to me. But if I look at everybody in this room, I can think about some positive things that you bring and how thankful I am for you. And one of the things I think about with Brian, because I've known him for a long time, is just loyalty. I think about that with you, with Jacob, with Jabron, and when we left and we separated from a gym that I'd started, there are some people that came and some people that didn't, and I will always remember the people that came. and that was Brian. And Brian has always been part of Deepwater, from the very beginning, before Deepwater was even there, to when he reestablished himself with us, and then even in Mexico, training in another country, hitting up Coach Scott, talking about techniques, and continuing to train, continuing to grind it out with some dudes who sound very tough, very tough dudes. But it was awesome to always have that connection and that loyalty, and you know, for that I'm incredibly thankful. And then just to be able to see how your technique is stayed sharp, you know, and you've developed into, you know, a good instructor, bringing quality stuff. I think it would be an absolute shame to go to your next country with that brown belt still on. So I think it's time. I think it's time to put something else on. So Brian Maddox, come on. Brian will tell you as much as anybody else. Jiu-Jitsu, unless you're Sala Rivera, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Sala got his black belt in 3 years. Freaking incredible. But Jiu-Jitsu is a marathon for most people, right? You go different places, things happen. You know, you train, you stop training a little bit, you get back into it. This is the culmination of hard work and just really pouring into people and bettering yourself, so we're proud of you. I know Coach Scott was bummed he couldn't be here. But we have talked.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for welcoming me here. But as Coach Cam was saying, for the last 10 years, I spent 6 of it overseas and training in great jiu-jitsu. Have great friends. Learned a lot. It's been like a doorway to people I would never met before. I would never had the opportunity to meet. But you guys are different, and I just want you to know how I feel. Like, those were great friends that I've stayed in touch with a lot of them. You guys are family. Like, this is family. Coach Cam, Coach Scott are just fantastic. Everyone is always welcome to me, and I've cycled in about every 3 or 4 years. I would come back, and like it was like I'd never left. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate it all because like I said, I have friends and I've trained at many gyms, but you guys are family. This is my home, so I appreciate it. And, thank you for coming out on a Tuesday. So maybe you got other things to do. So that's it.